Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am very excited to be with you all today. So, for those who do not know me, my name is Erin Watt. I am one of the tech partner managers here at Triple Whale and your host for today's Ultimate Shopify Customer Experience Masterclass series. So, before we dive into today's session, I would love to extend a warm welcome and a massive shout out to all of our attendees. So to those who have been diligently following the Triple Whales journey and attending all of our events, we appreciate your dedication. And of course, to the new members of our Triple Whale Pod, welcome. We are absolutely thrilled to have you all here. So I'm going to take just a couple more moments before we begin to see more people tuning in. So if you haven't yet, please drop a line in our group chat. Say hi, let me know where you're joining from and also how you're involved in the D2C community. I'm calling from Toronto, Ontario. The sky is gray, but I want to get some love from all of you to get some more sunshine in my home. And as also mentioned, my role in the DTC community is as a tech partner manager here at Triple Whale. All right, so we got some Fort Lauderdale here. I'm sure there's much more sunshine there than it is here in Toronto. Oh, we got someone from Vancouver, another Canadian. I love it. New York, just across the pond. Got another Florida. Loving this. Austin. Oh, would love to be in Austin. Be much warmer than it is here in Canada. All right. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so let's get things started. Why are we all here? So whether you are just starting out or you're looking to refresh your knowledge on ways to improve your customer engagement, this session is tailored for you. Today, Triple Whale has teamed up with industry powerhouses to help you level up with your Shopify store and provide an unforgettable customer experience. So today we are fortunate enough to have experts who will equip you with those essential tools to take that customer engagement program to the next level. And I am thrilled to introduce all of my beautiful speakers. So the first speaker that will be with us today is the beautiful and talented, also my boss, Mia Healy from Triple Whale, the lovely Dilyar Askar from Justuno, and our good friend, Michael Klonoff from Gorgias. So before we jump into today's topic, I'm going to hand over the floor to our speakers to provide a little bio about themselves, but also provide a little background on their companies. Mia, let's start with you.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to be joining y'all today. My name is Mia Healy. I'm the Director of Tech Partnerships here at Triple Whale. I'm based in Orlando, Florida, and I've been in the tech and e-com world for over 6 years now. For anyone unfamiliar with Triple Whale, we are the smart data platform for e-commerce brands. We work with over 11,000 Shopify and Shopify Plus brands to centralize all of their must-have data, inform them on where their customers are coming from and who their customers are, and to provide them with next-level AI capabilities to help them better visualize their marketing data. So yeah, I'm very excited to be sharing the stage with so many amazing speakers today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mia. And our next speaker, Dilyar, take the stage.
Hey everybody, Dilyar here. Mia, thank you so much. Hopefully that wasn't a hyperbole and we will do y'all justice. That's the goal here. I'm from Calgary, Canada, and Toronto, and I represent Justuno. I'm the head of community and evangelism. If you don't know about Justuno, we are one of the leading on-site conversion optimization platforms, pop-ups, data capture, and we've been doing that for over a decade now, and we are a top partner of all your other favorite martech as well, and we're all about refining the on-site experience of your visitors and then enhancing the rest of your tech stack by pushing the best data that you could leverage to convert them more and provide a better CX experience. And yeah, really excited to talk about advanced targeting with personalization and enriched audience segmentation and all that good stuff that you need to know to ensure that you are maximizing all that coveted traffic. That's us.
Awesome. Always excited to have another Canadian on the panel.
Hey,
Thank you so much, Dilyar. And then our last but not least, our friend over at Gorgias, Michael, take the stage.
Hey, everybody. Michael Klonoff here. Nice to meet you. I'm a tech partner manager over at Gorgias. We're based in San Francisco, California. What does Gorgias do? If you're not familiar, we are the #1 platform for automating customer experience with AI. where's my order questions, any common questions that kind of come in. We handle all that. We're trusted by over 15,000 e-commerce brands. The idea with Gorgias is to kind of save you time and money, freeing up your support team to provide great, like, personalized experiences, and really looking forward to today's discussion.
Oh, exciting stuff. Thank you, all of you, for taking the time to give us a little bit more information of who you are and the companies that you come from. So now that we've all become friends here, I feel it's time to jump into our discussion on mastering Shopify customers' engagement with 3 apps. So to kick things off, I'd like to hear from each of you. Why do you believe customer experience holds such significance in today's e-commerce landscape? Michael, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I really love this question. Customer experience to me really is like everything. Think about the last time you went to a store, maybe you went to a brick and mortar, right? Maybe you got some great help and advice, and it felt really, really special when you made that purchase. That's pretty much like the gap the modern e-commerce brand needs to bridge today. And the reason why customer service is so important is because it has a huge impact on revenue. So brands today have to kind of focus on like rising customer acquisition costs. And this is kind of a fun fact, but returning customers typically generate like 300% more revenue than first-time shoppers. So the key to unlocking this is providing those great customer experiences. And we also know that like excellent customer service increases conversion rate. So you could look at something like cart abandonment. That's a really big issue for e-commerce stores today. And you have to build trust online. Your site's got to look great. They have to trust having their credit card information with you. So simple things like live chats can really help boost that conversion by like 12, 13% right off the bat. So yeah, customer experience, it's tied to the money.
100%. I actually love that. We should have t-shirts that says customer service is tied to the money. I could not agree more. If anyone knows anything about me, the one thing I do is I want to put everything on a t-shirt. So.
Erin loves merch. She loves a good
love
t-shirt.
merch. Love merch. Anyone wants to start a merch store with me? I'm in.
I'm in too.
Yeah. All right, Mia, what are your thoughts about why customer service holds such a significance in today's e-commerce landscape?
Yeah, so Michael brought up a really good point about trust. And so I want to add a little bit more onto that. So consumers are really desperate for authenticity and connections. And having that sense of trust and connection with the brands that they're shopping for is really integral. And this is especially prevalent with those younger demographics. It's exactly why TikTok is as popular as it is, because it's one of the only platforms that encourages unfiltered authenticity, and the creators and brands that perform the best on TikTok are the ones who embrace that. So having this level of trust and authenticity with your brand directly ties into the customer experience that you're providing for your customers and prospects. I actually have a perfect example of this from 2 brands that I recently just ordered from. So they're both beverage brands, and I won't say their names. Both of them have a pretty solid social presence. If I looked at either of their socials, they were both filled with customer UGC and reviews and real life stories from customers, which really made me feel confident about making this purchase. They are competitors, and so I ordered from both of them to see which one I liked better and who I ultimately would be loyal to. So one company kept me super informed throughout the entire, shipping process, throughout the entire post-purchase journey. I frequently received emails about shipping progress, so I always felt very well informed about where my order was. I received a thank you email from their founder and a $5 off coupon for when I placed my next order. So it was all very I felt very just valued by that brand throughout the entire post-purchase journey. And it felt like they were very, grateful for my order. It felt very special. The second company, however, was totally radio silent. I received an order confirmation and a second email a week later about how shipping times are longer than normal, and then just radio silence again. So I've at this point already received company number 1's product and have finished that product. So I most likely plan on being loyal to company number 1 just because I haven't really felt super valued by company number 2. And I totally understand shipping issues, but I feel like as consumers and just me personally, I would feel less upset if I wasn't being met with that complete radio silence from the brand. And this is a perfect example of why a trustworthy customer experience is so important, because now I prefer the experience itself from company number one, who was communicative, fast, and reliable. So out of those two companies, at the pre-purchase stage, they both mirrored kind of the same social presence. They both had that amazing UGC, but it came down to the actual customer experience that has now made me want to be loyal to company number one. So that's exactly why your customer experience is so important. It doesn't just end at pre-purchase once they make that purchase. It's the entire customer journey. You have to make sure post-purchase, your customer's experience is also spot on.
Yeah, I mean, I think what it really comes down to from what you've said, it's communication. And it doesn't matter if it's working with a brand, if it's in your personal life, like talking to a friend or your partner, like it just comes to communication, understanding where someone's at, what's going on with it, so that you can also meet them halfway and feel valued with like your concerns or like the value that you're putting to the brand as well too. So I honestly could not agree more. And then finally, Dillier, what are your thoughts about how customer service holds its significant value in our landscape today?
Honestly, I feel like they just referenced my homework, because that's exactly what I was gonna say, almost verbatim. But like, so I don't want to beat a dead horse. So I'll just recap really quickly. So y'all, like, we all understand, consumers have grown to be a lot more savvy than our parents' days, right? We talked about this new generation and them being really used to that pleasant experience versus not. They can easily tell between good versus bad experience. And that comes with a lot of higher expectation for them wanting to have a memorable, unique experience that really like speaks to their soul, like that gets them compelled and motivated to want to learn more about you and take action. Especially in the down economy, as we already know, every second is even more coveted, and thus we need to really refine how each unique person, their experience with you is as compelling to their to what makes them tick, so that you can reduce or eliminate all the frictions it takes from them to get from A to Z to that coveted end goal there. And lastly, when you befriend your customers, like Mia touched on, it's really important to understand that their loyalty, like also Michael mentioned earlier, they're 300% more, what you say, likely to convert or valuable, right?
To generate, more revenue.
Exactly, right? So definitely keep that in mind, and really don't take them for granted, right? Don't expect that just because they bought from you once that they're going to buy from you again. And sometimes, these customers can make or break your business, how much you care about them. And throughout the rest of this, panel, we'll dive more into some specific examples for this.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more, especially considering how everything is becoming increasingly more expensive. Consumers are super highly focused on value, seeking not just products, but also services that offer that best balance between like the quality and also the cost. And honestly, brands will definitely need to start emphasizing that value in their offerings to also meet the customers' expectations. So all really great points, guys. And
so
this,
one more point really quickly, Aaron.
Yeah. No, please do.
Recently, you guys know how some, enterprises or like, notable companies, some companies, they have like really quirky or like fun, socially savvy, like social accounts like Duolingo, or like Wendy's is another one. They like to like sing at each other.
I love
like,
Wendy's.
Yeah, they like to send each other zingers and stuff like that. Like that, they have, I don't know how it's trackable, but what was really interesting I saw this week is, some of the social managers that do this, they were actually a lot younger than I thought somebody who would be in, an enterprise company's, leadership seat. Like these were really young, maybe I would guess like 30s, right? So it's really interesting that these people really bet on this generation to really speak to this new and upcoming generation. Honestly, you have to have that mindset. And really understand who you're targeting and make sure you have the right messaging, and go after them. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm a big lover just following Wendy's. Like, don't even know the last time I ate there, but like I follow the brand just to like see like the cheeky tweets and like the comments that they put out there. So yeah, I do think it's also interesting to understand like what is your target market now? Like what are you trying to target towards, and who are the ones behind the scenes? So yeah, I think those are all really good points too. So Now that we have a good understanding, though, of the importance of CX, I think it's really important to also zoom in on an area that I feel many brands are really keen to elevate. So would love to hear from all of you. How can D2C brands effectively leverage personalization to enhance their customer journey and foster loyalty? And this time, Mia, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, so one of my favorite tips of how a brand can really leverage personalization is through their customer segmentation. Segmenting your customers and prospects really is like light personalization, because the way that you're targeting your VIP customers should be completely different from how you're targeting your first time buyers or your prospects. And so it's just super important, especially, not even with just your emails or your SMS, but also how you're targeting them with your ads as well. You want to target them with completely different ads too. So customer segmentation, in my opinion, is, one of the most important ways and one of the foundations of personalization as well, through that like pre-purchase stage.
Yeah, because I mean, if you're sending me a gift guide, but I've never bought from your store before, I'm probably less inclined to open that gift guide, let alone buy from it, right? Where
Exactly.
a VIP
You have no
customer
idea.
would probably do. Exactly. Yeah. Makes so much sense. And then, Michael, what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I think for personalization, there's a really big opportunity with like proactive customer service, being proactive with things, addressing questions before they're asked. And, how do you do this? I know like I kind of like briefly touched on like how like live chat can really work well, but like the context for that would really be like chatting with customers who maybe have like a best-selling item in their cart right now, serving them like maybe a educational video, serving them like a quick note of, hey, this goes, if you have product A, product B goes really well with it to increase AOV. Maybe you can surface them a free shipping coupon if you know they're a first-time buyer, and you can really leverage like Shopify data if you're on Shopify to inform like these specialized types of campaigns, because maybe a 15% discount to a new buyer makes sense for that segment, but maybe like a complimentary product recommendation for a returning buyer makes sense to them, and you don't want to be like missing the mark on who that persona is. And you can serve the right message to the right customer basically. And I think for personalization, kind of the what's under the hood of getting to that stage and being able to like roll out those types of things is having an integrated tech stack, making sure that you have integrations with all your tools, your SMS tool, however you're sending email. You want to know who that customer is if they chat in, what's their order history, what's their total spend, like are they a VIP? There's all these different kind of things that you can do with stuff that you probably already have access to, but connecting that all together and giving you that holistic picture is going to help drive real personalization, just like a concierge at a high-end boutique would know all your favorite stuff. It's pretty much the same thing, but a little easier actually, because you have all these automations doing stuff for you.
Yeah, no, completely. I mean, going back to that point, and this actually made me think when you mentioned, a new customer might want 15%, but a returning customer might want a product recommendation. I think that I always want a percentage off of something. But if I actually see the value of the brand that I'm buying from, I'm actually probably more excited about that product offering from the brand that is actually working for like maybe the product that I just bought, or something that I wouldn't even think that I would need, that the product can bring more value to me. So once again, like kind of really understanding that customer through customer segmentation, the data that you gather from them can really help with that personalization. So that's actually a really interesting point. And Dillier, what do you think? What's your thoughts on this?
It really surprises me. Like this all comes down to segmentation, what Mia mentioned earlier, and the importance of it. And really surprises me when we look at some new client accounts, regardless of if they're doing $1 million or 5 mil or 10 mil GMV. They're not segmenting as properly as they should. And I don't know if we want to do a poll in here or something like that, but like I wonder like how many people are listening right now are actually really focusing on that, creating bespoke experience for these different buckets of people. Let me give a couple more examples for this that bounce off of what.
Let's see. Let's see if we could do a poll. So like, what would you feel like? What would be some from your experience? Like, what would be something that would be really interesting to find out through the audience with the poll?
Are you hyper segmenting right now? Yes or no?
All right, everyone. Is everyone in this chat? Are you yes or no hyper segmenting your customer base right now?
Maybe we want. No.
Okay,
Yeah.
got no.
See?
Yes.
What did I tell you? What
Okay.
I tell you?
Not after a
Y'all,
month. I think
don't
it's
sleep
like
on
month.
this. Don't sleep on this.
Just on board this. We okay.
I love that. We know we need to, though. At least we're self-aware.
But isn't that always the case? You know you need to, but a
Yep.
lot of times what doesn't move the needle is we just don't know how to, right?
Right.
Or we think we do, and the workload from that just seems too large. So yeah, Dillier, go ahead with that.
Oh my gosh, y'all. There's so many different examples and so forth,
Mhm.
right? So one of the cool things that we do at Justuno is we do these like dynamically as well. So like instantly, sometimes, some other platforms or, traditionally segmentation is thought about like a static conditions, like something happened a while ago and now you're going to take the action, a while later. But for example, with Justuno, for somebody, you can, and a really cool example is like, when we've identified that somebody just purchased from you, you can show a messaging that says, "Yay, welcome to the acne-free family," or whatever. Now refer your friend right now, and they get 50% off, and you get 50% off, and everybody will not have acne
Everyone
or
wins.
whatever. That kind of messaging, I guarantee you, I'll bet money, will get you a lot more referrals and make those customers a lot more stickier. So long as your product is actually legit and good. If not, then you're gonna have two people that's going to hate your brand now. But that's a really cool idea for post-purchase referral. Another really cool way is, let's say you're synced with a e-commerce platform like Shopify, BigCommerce, like whatever it is. They usually, with them, you'll be able to identify who has the highest AOV, average order value, during their sessions, who's a VIP customer or not. And you want to make sure, like Aaron touched on earlier, you don't want to keep bombarding them with discounts and free shipping and so forth. Maybe they just want to be understood more. Maybe they want to have a quiz, like, what kind of acne do you have? Do you have eczema? I don't know why I'm talking about skincare, guys. I've never used skincare.
I love skincare, so let's keep going.
I literally don't own any skincare product. I think I'm just naturally beautiful like this, but
Love it.
like those kind of things like make a huge difference, y'all, right? And that could be the difference between you hitting your goal for the quarter or not, and increasing your coveted margins. Now, another one example would be like when they're if they came from let's say they came from an article or a feature on Forbes or some kind of blog that featured your founder and your founder story, and they came to visit and check out your product. You really want to show them, let's say, a video that continues on that story, or it's a video of your founder saying, "Hey, it's me, Jason, thanks for coming and listening to our story. Did you know if you check out now, we'll add on to your bundle, or we'll let you know about our next drop in California," or something like that, right? If this visitor is from California and you said, "Hey, we're gonna have a drop and we're gonna meet their founder in California," like they're more compelled to buy from you, and because that shows that you're local as well. So you'll be able to really have those bespoke messages from these different data points that you could play with. And with a tool like Justuno, you have dozens and dozens of data points that you can leverage to create these experiences. So yeah, I could go on forever with many examples. We have a ton of examples on our site if you're interested in taking a look, and so does just Gorgias and Triple Whale. But yeah, y'all, don't sleep on this. Mic drop.
Yeah. And also, and Camille is here to help you with your skincare regime, Dillier. So don't worry, we have experts. Everyone here is an expert for something. Yeah.
Yes.
And I have to say, like, I'm loving the passion that came from this question when we talk about leveraging personalization. So I have to now ask, like, can all of y'all share a brand that you believed excelled in providing this like excellent personalization for your own personal shopping experience? Dillier, how about you start? Because you have so much on the go right now in your head.
Yeah, right off. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna try to calm down because, like,
You're excited. You're excited. It's
I don't know
okay.
if anybody can tell, but I'm sick as heck right now. But like, I really didn't want to miss out on this, so because I just love this topic so much. I'm going to be that guy, and I'm actually going to do the opposite really quick. A brand that didn't provide a good experience, because sometimes, as we all know, those that do collect reviews, the angry customers are the loudest, right? When they expect the product to work as is, they're less likely to leave a review or be motivated, unless prompted. So there is, not going to name them, but there's a really popular Suits franchise here in Canada. I don't know if they're in the States, but and they sell really affordable, high quality suits that are a little bit, have different unique patterns than, your traditional suit store. And I bought from them in store and offline, online and offline many times. And every time I visit their website, they're showing me models and like fits and looks that don't interest me at all. And when I'm going on the site, I want to experience a little bit of that, in-store customer experience that I absolutely love. Somebody coming up to me saying, "Hey, are you getting ready for summer? Are you getting ready for, a special event? Or do you need a custom order? What is that?" Right? They're not quizzing me. They're just assuming what I may like, and I'm just a number to them. And so I'm more compelled to buy from them in store, not buy from them at all. And unfortunately, this is the only franchise that does the fabrics that I like, or else I would be going to a different competitor. And not to mention the amount of spam I get in my inbox from them that's not relevant to anything that I'd be interested in, is just wild. So like, I just wish they took the opportunity, especially since suits are expensive, right? Even suits are expensive. So especially if you're selling a high ticket item, like you'd be sleeping on a lot of money, y'all, if you're not getting to know your users. So and now on the flip side, I know a lot of people talk about the Amazon experience, but like y'all, I really love Amazon's cart abandonment, retargeting, and their PPC campaigns and email campaigns they run, where I added something that I was window shopping and like kind of dreaming about buying at some point, and they just show me that product while I'm just scrolling on Instagram or Reddit, and they're like, "Yo, you forgot? You remember you wanted this blender that you're never gonna use? Like, come check it out.
Come back."
Back. Like, you want this, even though you're not going to use it. And I can admit, like, that has, really brought me back. And so, that kind of experience, again, offsite, in email channels, social channels, PPC, those are all like data that they're collecting while I'm shopping on Amazon, right? And yeah, y'all, like that's how you make or break your business. So hopefully that helps in acquisition.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, people always complain about their phones always listening to them, these channels having too much data. But I love the fact that when someone can tell me, "Hey, did you forget about this? Hey, you left something in your cart.
Yeah.
Hey," and they show me like other times, because maybe I forgot something because I was busy or I just wasn't sure about it at the time. But later on, it reminded me that like, I actually did need that and probably not going to use it, as Dillier said. But it is something that like, I feel like email retargeting, it's the best when it comes to personalization.
My favorite are the ones close to BFCM. It's like, "Hey, you need to order this week or this is not arriving." I'm like, "Oh, snap." Like,
say less.
Let me just go into debt and buy all of these now, like those are really good. One quick fact, y'all. I don't know if this is like as common knowledge as I think it is, but typically in marketing, people usually it takes about 6 interactions with your brand or your product before they pull the trigger. So that repeated messaging, that retargeting, that nurturing them,
consistency.
Yes, is really important, right? So don't give up if they didn't buy from you the first time around. Okay,
well, I think it's just like the old sales strategy as well too. Like, I mean, being back in sales years ago, like that's everything that I was taught. It takes this many touch points for you to finally actually get a demo, this many touch points for them to actually close it. It's the same thing with brands and their customers too, right? So good points on the touch points. I love that. And then Mia, what's your favorite brand that really helped you kind of either want to buy from them or you end up buying from them because of their personalization?
Oh, you know who I love, and I talk about them all the time. I love Laundry Sauce. I think their entire journey that they take you through on their website, they just nail it every time. They're so good. I really love specifically their personalization in the checkout cart. I see so many brands who don't utilize that checkout cart space or that post-purchase page, like that confirmation page space, and Laundry Sauce just nails it. They spotlight additional cross-sell and upsell products that directly pair with the product in your cart. So for example, when I'm re-upping on my Laundry Sauce laundry pods I put in there, they'll also show me the scent boosters that go with it. And I think that's really important because yes, showing cross-sell and upsell products in that checkout cart is important, but what's more important is showing products that actually go and pair with the product they have in their cart. Because if you're just showing them random products that don't pair well with what they already have in their cart, they're likely not going to add that additional product to their cart because it just doesn't make sense with what they're purchasing. So I love that Laundry Sauce does that, not only including those products, but also making sure that they're providing those personalized recommendations based off of what I have in my cart. And another quick example here, just on like the customer service front, is I really have always loved Brewmate. They're one of my favorite brands. I own way too much from them, so highly recommend. But Brewmate just provides such a good customer experience, and that's why I'm so loyal to them, because if anything happens, if something goes wrong with my order, if I have any questions about any of their products, they're so good at providing just a really personalized customer support experience. They're fast, they're reliable, they answer questions really fast. And they also, like Michael had mentioned before, proactive chat. They do proactive chat really, really well. And if you have any like questions about any of their best-selling products, they're proactively helping you. So those are two of my favorite brands that just nail personalization in two different ways.
Oh, I love that. And Michael, what's the brand that's on top of your head for personalization?
Yeah, I have kind of a fun one here.
Okay. We like fun.
Yeah, it's for when you have too much fun. There's this brand out there called Z-Biotics, and I think they kind of come to mind here. They make these little probiotic shots you take before like a night of drinking to kind of avoid hangover situations. And I've tried it. It actually works really, really well. They do a really excellent job though, like with their brand voice, I think across all their retargeting channels. They do Instagram ads, email campaigns. They do a really good job of like building that trust right away. And I think one of the things that stood out like kind of semi-recently around the holidays, I remember they did like a live stream of their like company's like holiday party, and you really got a view into like the real people.
That's really cute.
Yeah, it's like the real really people. Cute. They're making the brand like what it is today. Wow. And I also like going back to I'm big on these like data points and stuff, but from an AOV and LTV perspective, if you go on their site and you look and you try to buy like one or two, they make it really, really easy to transform like a single purchase to a subscription purchase right in the checkout.
Love it.
So like implementing stuff like that, I think is really, really cool, because I think the best brands are like knowing like maybe you might need a restock or something like that here. So yeah, Z-Biotics doing great stuff out there.
Yeah, I want the brand to do the thinking for me. Like let me like you be 2 steps ahead and you get me excited about what I should be doing is what I love. And I also love because like, maybe like obviously this brand did something to you that made you want to buy their probiotic shots. And also though, the other personalization that comes into it is making you that repeat customer, so that you are wanting to continue buying for them by doing, like you said, like the bulk ordering at the very end before you actually check out, which is another amazing way for doing the subscription within the checkout cart as well too, to then have that loyal customer turn to that repeat buyer as well. So loving all of this. I was going to give my example, but I know that like we are like going through these really, really well. And I just want to get through some more questions that I had for everybody. So would love to know all of your opinions on this. What is an unappreciated metric that helps with CX that we can all swear by? And then also why?
Maybe I'll jump in on this one. I have
Michael, why don't you jump in on this one?
So okay, mine's a two-parter, because I feel like it's kind of like a hidden metric, and but it's related to like a bigger one. So the hidden metric is first response time. Why? Ultimately, first response time impacts CSAT, and higher CSAT is correlated to increased revenue for e-commerce brands. At least on the Gorgias side, through all the brands that we work with, this is kind of some of the data we put together. We found that raising your CSAT score by just like 1 point, like 4 to 4.9 or 5, lifts overall revenue by 4%. So the quicker you're getting answers out to people, it actually impacts your bottom line. So make sure you're right there when people need you. You're not waiting days to hear back, like Mia, your example of like not hearing about your tracking. Like that's the stuff that makes an impact, because it's already working. You're probably going to go with that one instead, the one that was helping you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and to kind of like piggyback on that, so there's like the CSAT score. There's also the score, like it's a metric called like the customer effective score, so CES, which I feel is also like super overlooked. So with CES, it also assesses how much effort it actually takes a customer to either get their issue resolved or their needs be met and then that's also obviously directly correlated to customer loyalty and also satisfaction. So really coming, very similar to what you talked about with the CSAT score, in order to improve like your customer effective score, you could begin by setting clear expectations for response times, like ensuring that features like your chat support are more immediate than your email, which can also significantly enhance that customer satisfaction and then also help with CSAT as well too. So yeah, definitely agree with that one. And Dillier, what is a metric that you would swear by for CX?
Yeah. With us and what we do on looking at on-site and off-site interactions and conversions, actually for all of the metrics that we're going to share, like I would love to quickly pull chat again, for CSAT, like how many brands are actually getting really obsessed with increasing their score and looking at that metric, because like on Gorgias side, what I really love about Gorgias is they help quickly answer, mundane questions that takes literally 10 seconds, whereas they don't need to wait for an agent and then they get that satisfaction experience, right? Like those are the things that you'll be able to do with them. On our side, on the Justuno side, I would say like engagement rate by source. I don't know if many people even know what I mean by this, but essentially it's literally what the title says. Engagement rate by source is looking at each of your source of traffic, Facebook, TikTok, blogs, specific influencers even, or specific stores, however they're coming to find your site, looking at how engaged they are with your brand, how long they're staying on your site, how engaged they are with your bespoke messaging, your pop-ups, or your embedded widgets that gets them to opt into email, whatever it is, engage with your campaigns that you have running for them. And this is important because with this, you'll be able to identify who your top performers are that, can, that you should lean and invest more into, so you can do even more A/B testing on them versus losing out on a lot of time investing in sources that haven't been as fruitful and just burning time and money focusing on something that an area that you shouldn't be, for example. And with this, when you're looking at the engagement rates, also you'll be able to devise more creative campaigns on how to create new and refreshing experiences when they come back, for the second time, third time, and so forth, not just the first time. And this will also help you create like the perfect narrative to, again, create that tailored experience that we're all talking about. Because as we already know, somebody coming from, let's say, LinkedIn is not going to be in the same mindset or behave similarly as somebody coming from TikTok, especially based on the time of day or the campaign that you're running and so forth, right? So I think that's a really important metric that y'all should study more.
Yeah, thank you so much for that, Dillier. And Mia, coming from Triple Whale, what do you feel for the metric that helps CX and that you can actually swear by?
So definitely CLTV, or customer lifetime value, is a metric that all CX teams should have knowledge of and be studying when putting together their CX strategy. I don't think this metric is necessarily underappreciated, specifically with marketing teams. I think CLTV is one of those metrics that like most marketing teams swear by, but I do find that this metric isn't typically being reviewed frequently by CX teams, right? They're typically reviewing, like how Michael said, first response time, resolution time, satisfaction score, etc. But CLTV is a really great metric for CX teams to understand the long-term value of the customer experience that you're providing.
Yeah, no, it's definitely super critical for understanding that long-term value, and then also helping to guide that strategic investment in customer acquisition and retention. So definitely could not agree more with the CLTV. Very, very important. Now, as much as I've loved everyone's answers for all the questions, I do specifically have one for Michael. So, Michael, this question is for you. Now, we're all aware that the e-commerce industry is consistently evolving and customer experience has undergone significant changes in recent years. So, what do you feel is really emerging from CX trends that brands can really get ahead of right now?
Yeah. So I'm gonna just be that guy right now. But
Be that guy. Be that guy.
We're being that guy today, Michael.
Yeah, we're gonna be that guy today.
We're just in that mood right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. AI. I mean, like it's actually pretty exciting because right now brands can do a ton of things they weren't able to do before. Like a really powerful example is like being able to instantly create a help center to answer all your most common questions using your own like history of conversations and answers as the basis behind that. You know, we're going to see a lot more like generative capabilities, like, you know, AI agents who can like quickly give the right answers to your customers every time. And that's all built on like your own data, your own integrations. And that really puts like brands in control of that, which is really going to unlock, you know, all those avenues for growth. You know, that thing ties back to that first response time. It ties back to customer satisfaction. Like these are the kind of pillars of growth that just are kind of institutional, but now they're kind of being supercharged through the ability to leverage your own data to handle that aspect for you, where you could focus on other parts of the business, like, you know, new product innovation, strategy, doing more, you know, A/B testing, like freeing up your time for those differentiators and leaving, you know, the helm on autopilot essentially, but to an extent, right? Of course, like we're always going to need empathy. We're always going to need human touch for major issues, right? That's not really what I'm suggesting this is what it's for, but using both of those kind of things in combination, that's what's going to drive like those really great customer experiences.
Yeah, and I think you're 100% right. Like it is, the AI is there for, it's there to be your assistant. It's there for the stuff that the human touch doesn't really need to be involved in. And when it comes to bigger issues, now you as a brand owner or the manager of CX, or, you know, a customer support manager can go in and provide that human touch and that white glove experience that customers are expecting. And I'm curious in the chat, is a lot of the brands here or a lot of individuals currently utilizing the combination of AI and human touch for the customer experience? Like, let us know what you guys are currently doing with that. And honestly, even our platform over at Triple Whale, like we're also helping brands to harness the power of AI to analyze not only just a vast amount of data, but also, you know, optimize their marketing strategies. And then of course, we are also helping to enhance that customer interaction with integrations like the one that we have with Gorgias. So really like could not agree more with the impact that AI is having on CX right now. So that was great.
Shout out to Moby.
Yeah, happy that you were that guy.
Yes, and also, yeah, Triple Whale just launched Moby, which is, you know, AI autopilot for all your data. So that was super cool to see.
Making it super easy.
Making it super easy. Yeah, it's definitely, it's mind blowing all of us. Like we're still trying to wrap our heads around it too. It's pretty cool stuff. And then this one, actually, I do have a question specifically for our friend Dillier. So now we're talking about like optimizing that post-click customer journey, which has been a major talking point in the industry due to those rising customer acquisition costs and also ad costs. And I really would love you to share why creating a customer web experience is so critical for increasing conversions.
Yeah, don't want to sound like a broken record here, taking all the lessons that I already mentioned, but when it comes to CAC, and let's talk speaking specifically talking about paid acquisition. Again, every visitor is important. Like everybody that said no in the chat earlier for segmentation, if you're running paid ads, like get on this like ASAP this week. Make it a homework to learn more about this. Chat with any of the experts here on the panel, and look more into it, because that's how you reduce your customer acquisition costs and convert them at a higher rate. Now, besides every person being different and them falling into different persona buckets, it's really important to understand which kind of campaign they came from, because I know that a lot of brands, they don't just run one themed campaign, right? They have a lot of different type of themes that they run. So make sure that their experience from beginning to end is consistent throughout. Let me give you an example. Let's say you did some paid campaign with, I don't know, Kim Kardashian. Can I say that?
Don't worry, we'll edit it out. It'll just be like, okay, and then we'll have my mouth go over it or something. It's
Okay, so, we have legal run over this. So let's just say like you did like some ad with Kim Kardashian, whatever, right? And she shouted you out. You paid $1 million for it. They come on the site, and if you just have this generic experience saying, "Oh yeah, we worked so hard to optimize our website, all these button colors and blah 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 blah," and it's going to convert, and then you notice, oh, it didn't convert as much. You're like, what happened? You know what you're missing? Instead of changing those button colors and your typography and your wording or whatever, why didn't you just have a landing page or a pop-up that said, "Hey Kim fam, what's going on? Look at this new drop. This is the bundle that she recommends. Like, buy this now and you get free shipping," whatever. Like that alone, that personalized messaging will show that you knew exactly where they're coming from and who they are. They're a Kim fam and they're gonna buy that from you, right? Swiftie fans, whatever, like influencer fans, like whoever you're working with. That's a great example, right? And every business solves a need, right? We can all agree with that. Now, when we look at some other metrics that help with this paid acquisition, like session time on site, number of page visits, engagement rate, traffic journey, those are the key pillars and metrics that you want to improve to overall increase that effectiveness of the paid traffic. So how do we influence these? Like besides the examples that I gave earlier, greeting them from where they came from. But let's say you are running a pet product, right? If you ran an ad with cats, you don't want to say, "Roof, what's going on? Please buy this door for me right now." Like that's not gonna make any sense, right? You don't want to. Oh my god, that was so embarrassing, guys.
No, this is so good. I love it so much. You're killing it.
Guys, I love looking at client examples. Some of the creative stuff they come up with is epic. One of our clients is Pretty Litter, and they're really good at. Yeah, Pretty Litter is amazing, and they love that. They do a really good job with this kind of bespoke experience as well. So anyway, before I embarrass myself, keep those examples to mind. And if you want to learn more, definitely hit us up.
Yeah, so I mean some powerful strategies there for enhancing website enhancement and also ultimately boosting sales through those strategies as well too. I mean, when we talk also about analyzing which ad visitors, when it comes which ad visitors click through with each user. I mean, here at Triple Whale 2, we understand the importance of kind of understanding who is clicking what and why, so that you can be able to, work on that personalization, and then being able to create those bespoke web experiences will definitely heavily help to increase those metrics and get them one step closer to converting, as you mentioned. So yeah, there's some great stuff there. There's definitely some great stuff. Okay, and don't worry, Mia, I also have a personalized question for you too, and I do feel it's also quite fitting. So with all of these new strategies brands can be implementing into their CX, what does data analytics fit into that equation, and how can brands measure their CX performance?
Yeah, so there's so many amazing strategies for brands to experiment with and try out. I mean, even just today, everything that we were talking about, there's so many brands that are doing some of them, but not all of them. Some brands who haven't experimented with segmenting yet. Like, there's just so many amazing strategies to start trying out that your brand can start experimenting with right away. However, it means absolutely nothing if you're not making data-backed decisions, right? You need to be
Yeah.
able to measure the success or lack thereof from these different strategies that you're trialing. All brands are different. Some things are going to be an absolute hit with some brands, and some things are just going to be a total flop for others. So I highly recommend, from all of these different strategies that you're trialing, in order to accurately determine if, this is something that you should bake into your brand's playbook, you need to be measuring that success. Now, there's plenty of tools that can help you do this. Obviously, little shameless plug, Triple Whale is one of them to help you better understand and visualize your data so that you can decide which strategies are worth keeping and which ones are unfortunately just not a fit. With that said, please make sure that you're not trialing all of these new strategies at once, because it's going to make it near impossible to figure out which ones are actually working and which ones aren't. You want to do things one at a time. You want to trial little by little. This is actually one of the best times to start trialing this. It's crazy that I'm about to say this, but it's the best time to start trialing these things now for holiday season of this year. Again, crazy that I'm saying that, but it's true. This around this time, Q2, early Q3 is the best time to really start figuring out what's going to work for your brand when it comes to holiday season again in Q4. And I saw a question in the chat from James, and I quickly want to touch on that because it loops into what I'm talking about here. So James had said, I'm curious on how we view expectations on assets when approaching a personalization segmentation approach, asking, do to be able to obtain assets to target all of these different users. Do we look at completely different content and creative, small tweaks, etc.? So I think a really good example I want to share here is from one of our customers, Obvi. So they are in the health and wellness space, and they sell supplements for all different concerns and goals. So they sell supplements for hair growth, for nails, and for, they sell different collagen products, etc. Right? So all of those different users that they're trying to target probably have different concerns. So the way that they're looping in segmentation into how they're targeting these users through ads is by segmenting the customers based on previous ads that they've clicked on. So if they had, several different users who have clicked on their skincare ads, they're going to group that into a segment of all of those people who have clicked on a previous skincare ad of theirs, and they're going to target those users with more skincare ads. Versus they're going to do the same thing for the users who have clicked on their hair care ads, and they're going to continue targeting them with different hair care ads. Right? Because those are users who have, different concerns and have engaged with and interacted with those different products that they're offering. So that's one way of how you can have different assets into your personalization strategy. It also depends on, James, I don't know what your brand is or what your products are, but that's just one example of how you can target with different assets. And again, like Michael had mentioned, A/B testing is super critical when you're trying to uncover which assets are really performing. So A/B testing, very important. And that goes back into what I had mentioned about, that means nothing if you're not making data-backed decisions and measuring the success of the different campaigns and assets that you're using.
So it sounds like what you're saying, that data analytics actually plays a really critical role in not only enhancing customers' experience strategies, but also providing insights into customer behaviors and their preferences across variable touch points, even with multiple products that a brand might be selling as well too.
Yeah. Really quick to add on to this as well. Yeah, like y'all, stop the guesswork, right? Data doesn't lie, and make sure that you leverage that. And in any type of sales, y'all, all right. What's the number one goal of a salesperson or a sales function? It's to reduce all the frictions and to get them to that end goal as quickly as possible. And how do you reduce frictions? By not showing them creatives James, I'm still answering your question as well. Piggybacking off of Mia, you don't show them creatives that are not relevant to them. You show them what they are interested in so that they continue to stick around, look through, and complete their purchase rather than hunting for it, getting tired and leaving, right? You want to keep them engaged. Every second they're spending on your site is absolutely coveted. So you want to make sure you reduce the frictions. So keep that in mind and keep that sales hat on.
Yeah, no, definitely good points there. Thank you for that. And I know that we're getting close to the end. So I did want to quickly ask a question for Michael and Mia, really kind of concentrating again about the consistency across multiple touch points. So how do you both feel that DTC brands can ensure that consistency across multiple touch points to deliver cohesive omnichannel customer experiences? Michael, why don't we start with you?
Yeah, I really like, Dillier, what you mentioned earlier about serving like the right types of messaging to the right folks. And I think that kind of ties into, I think there's two sides of this consistency. One, of course, is like on the branding side. The other is going to be like the unified messaging on your support channels, like building like standardized macros and help centers that can be used across like all your channels, live chat, email, phone, social media, right? Like investing your team with training for those people who are delivering that support to give the same level of service across no matter where this questions are coming in from is going to be really key. And like, that's true consistency. Like whether somebody Instagram DMs, like they have a question about the product, like they should be able to get the same level of service as, something on a chat. So I think that's kind of the less obvious side to things on like what's considered like consistency. But I think that's really important.
I think you really hit, the head on the nail. Is that the same? But I think that you made a really good point, is that like the customer service should be consistent no matter what channel your customers are reaching out to you on. It doesn't matter if it's email, if it's, TikTok shop, if it's on Instagram, if it's on your store, like you should still see that white glove experience throughout all those channels the customers are reaching out to you from, because you could lose someone because TikTok shop might be the place that customer is now shopping from. And if you don't provide that white glove experience right there and then for them, they're not going to go on the website. So I think that was a really good point that you brought up, Michael. And what about yourself, Mia?
Yeah, so Dillier had mentioned before that it's taking like on average 6 touch points with a prospect before they actually make a purchase. Mm-hmm. And so I'm going to take this from more of a pre-purchase and creative standpoint for my answer. So one of my favorite tips for brands is to make sure that you're keeping a similar theme or underlying theme on all of your channels and marketing. So I really love using sheer text as an example for this, because regardless of what channel they're marketing on, they always lead with a sort of problem solution type of campaign. So for anyone who's not familiar with sheer text, they make really durable tights. And so the problem with most tights is that they're really thin, they're unreliable, they break or like they get holes in them really easily. So you'll notice in all of their marketing campaigns, they lead with that problem of tights normally being just really thin, and the solution is sheer text. So I love that they do this, because regardless of whatever channel you're on, wherever you're shopping, wherever their customers are, wherever their prospects are, they have that underlying theme with all of their marketing. Now, this isn't to say that they're lacking creativity either. They get really creative with this messaging and with the graphics that they're using, but they always keep that same message in their campaigns. And this is what leads to a consistent pre-purchase customer experience.
Yeah, no, I mean, love sheer text. I think that they are
I love them.
Number one player when it comes to understanding the customer's needs and being able to market towards those needs. So I definitely could not agree more on that. Now, I would love, and I think that everyone agrees here, like I'm someone that can learn from experience and understanding a real life example. So now that we've covered trends and strategies, I would really love to kind of now just jump into a real world example of brands that are truly excelling and going that extra mile for their customer experience. I know that we kind of touched on it a little bit before. But I would really love if each of you could share a story about a brand that just surpassed the expectations and customer experience. And Dillier, like, why don't we start with you?
Yeah. Let me try to give some examples that I haven't touched on like previously, like use cases. One of my favorites, one of the OG Shark Tank pitches, Tipsy Elves. They've been a client of Justuno for like forever, and love their account. It's so fun, and they have released like really unique gamification. I think if you guys even go to their site now, that you'll see it where you can like spin a wheel and like win an extra incentive. It's just like really cool, fun way to engage, right? Like a gamification like that, or pick your prize or mystery reveal, those kind of things. Like messaging doesn't work for every brand, but if you know your audience is gonna, be in a fun mood when they come to your site, like definitely don't hold back on trying something creative that they haven't really seen, because that's going to grab their interest. Another one's on the other scale, I guess, Volcom. Volcom's also a really cool brand of ours, and they have a messaging for pushing their retail sales using a geolocator. So helping them find a local store that's near them, and why they should visit that store. Some really cool examples on that site. And then to do Midland Radios is another really good one. They're, I think, like the number one like walkie-talkie seller or something like that. And they, when you're about to leave a site, it says, hey, did you not find the equipment that you need for your next adventure? Take this quick quiz and we'll show you the right product. So you just click on, I think, a couple options, and it takes you to a landing page that shows you exactly what you were looking for. So being that, again, providing that customer service experience to get that like that offsite customer experience on site, so that they're more likely to convert before leaving and understanding why they left. Last one. This is a recent case study we published on our site, Happy V. They're also, I believe, a supplements company, and they have really cool AOV threshold banners on their sites, like saying, hey, you are $40 away from free shipping. And once they get to $40, like, hey, you are $60 away from 30% off. That kind of messaging will encourage them to not only not abandon their cart, but also add more to their cart, increasing that AOV, and getting them to actually look around more, and again, increase those metrics I talked about earlier: session time, page visits, and so forth. And another really cool thing that they do is similar to what Mia mentioned earlier about Ogby. Depending on the health kind of concern or supplement that you would like to focus more on, they show the creatives and pop-ups and on-site messaging around that specific health need, so that you're not bombarded and distracted with everything else that's just going to annoy you off the site. So yeah, those are a couple examples that I love.
Yeah, no, I love it. I actually loved the one with the quiz. I think a lot of brands tend to do quiz at the very beginning when someone enters the site, but never think to do the quiz at the end, that if they're not checking out, they're not going to buy something, or they've been browsing for, let's just say, maybe a few more minutes than it would take for someone to actually buy something. Let's put the quiz up now to hope that we can still retain that customer and find what they're actually looking for. So yeah, I love that as well too. That was really cool. Mia, what about yourself?
Yeah, so I've talked about a whole bunch of brands, but one brand that I really love is Killstar. They are a clothing and apparel brand. And the reason why I love them, and I'm going to give an example of why I love them. And the example I give is like super attainable for brands to do and just like try out in their email strategy. But after I made my purchase, they sent me a welcome email to like welcome me to their community. And it had like a whole bunch of information about, their help center. If I have any questions about anything, it showed some of their best sellers in there that, all of their other community members love. And it just felt very, very personalized. And it was something so simple, so easy, like a very simple email to send to first-time buyers. But it like really hit for me. Like it was just a really nice way to like welcome me into their brand. And then since then, I just felt so valued that I was like, oh, this is kind of cute. I love being part of something. This also goes back to like the younger generation, like wanting to feel that trust and that, connection with the brands that they're shopping from. So I am that younger generation. So it felt really nice to have that connection with this brand. And then since then, I've just always shopped from them now because it felt really nice that they were just like welcoming me into their community. I got to be a part of something. So that's a really like easy and attainable example that if your brand isn't doing those like welcome to our community type of emails for your first time buyers, it's totally something to try out. I know some brands do this really well where they send maybe a video of their founder, and this video is of their founder like welcoming them and thanking them for making their purchase, maybe including like a $5 off coupon or a 10% off coupon for their next purchase, things like that. So very just like easy way to implement into your email strategy if you're not already trying it out.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, Delia said this earlier too. Keep it simple. Like sometimes it's about going back to the basics. Like we want to be part of a community if it's in person or if it's online. Like that's, it's a sense of belonging. It's a sense of feeling valued. And that's what they did for you. So yeah, love that. Love that welcome email. Love feeling a sense of that community. That's amazing. And then Michael, what are some brands that you have an amazing, customer experience with?
Yeah, I got a couple. One is like very timely for me because later today I'm hopping on a flight, and there's this one brand called Soul Guard, and they make like travel backpacks and gear and stuff. I have mine ready to go right here. And I think one of the things that's really interesting, like they have super quick first response time.
Love that.
They make it easy to like change and modify orders. Like when I went to Mata, like to buy mine, the color had just gotten out of stock, and they said, "Oh, here's what we have," and it's all from like Shopify. It's all right there. Made it easy for me to just like change it without even having to like do anything crazy, jump through hoops. And then it arrived in beautiful packaging, by the way, like little dust
Isn't that
bag.
the best? Like when you place an order and like, I just feel like I don't know about y'all, but I love when I get just like a beautiful package to unwrap from the brand. Like that's such an important piece of the customer experience.
Exactly. Like that's that kind of like premium aspect. Like it came in a little, little dust bag, and it's just.
Oh, I love a dust bag. Love a dust bag.
Feels real good.
Side note, is it just me, or do y'all also sometimes wish that brands use scent more, activated?
Yes.
I was like, yo, that is such a powerful connector, like mentally, emotionally with brands. And like, I wish they just had a unique scent they just like sprayed in the package.
Right.
Or whatever, like I would love that experience.
Well, it's like when you go on holidays and you go to the all inclusive resorts, and they have that scent in their resorts that you smell. And then when like anytime now you go anywhere, you smell that scent, you think of that vacation. Like,
yeah.
100%.
Actually, I have a really good example of this for any brands that have a retail location. I'm blanking on the name of the brand, but they're a jewelry brand, and their location in Disney Springs here in Orlando, they do that where they spray a specific perfume in their store so that when you walk in, you always associate like that scent to their brand, and it smells beautiful. Like even if you're just walking past the store because they keep their doors open, you'll just instantly be hit with that beautiful fragrance. And I used to work at Disney Springs like way back in the day, and we were the store directly next to them. And so clients would come in and be like, "Is this your store that smells like that? Like it smells so good." And we're like, "No, unfortunately not. It's the jewelry store next door." And they're like, "All right, cool, we're gonna go there." So it's such a missed opportunity.
I love that. But can we have a moment of silence for the employees that have to smell that?
I was about to say, I would have a headache. I'm sorry. Like, so happy for the customer experience, but there would be a massive migraine at the end of the day. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Michelle. Abercrombie is like,
oh my God, remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, Michael.
Bridging the gap between like smell-o-vision and like e-commerce brands. Like I know it's not always possible to do that, but I really do enjoy that idea too. Just like a couple other like quick ones. Stussy, a street surf kind of brand.
Oh, love them.
They have like really seamless like branded support. So like if you go to their site, you look at support, and like it's almost as if it looks like white labeled. So that ties well into like that premium aspect for any of the brands who are like really upmarket, really want to like present a certain look and feel across like their presence. That I think that's a really good example of it. A couple other ones like Mary Mur, it's a lingerie site. They recently started working with us, but they're really, really good at segmenting their customers through like quizzes to better personalize like later on the road. So they really invest in that like up front, grab that information, and then they can better like say, because for a product like that, it's very personal anyway. So they recognize that and own that and make sure that it's, not missed throughout the customer journey. Last one is Pit Viper. They make sunglasses.
Pit Viper.
Super fun, retro brand. If you go to their website, it looks like an early 90s web page. Probably the most fun thing I've seen to date. They also kind of like take that whole branding experience and like put it all into one place. And those are kind of my quick off the head brands I can think of here.
I think the one thing I love that I want to take away though is like when we talk about Stussy like being more of a streetwear brand, but because it's a little bit more expensive, the fact that they have personalized their branding, but also their customer service to make it feel more white glove and more exclusive, so that even that feels more expensive. That's a really good idea. Like I really like that. That was cool. And I have to say, like Mia, I might have to take some time off today and do some online shopping.
Do a little online shopping, right? Girl, you and me both.
Like after learning about some of these brands, like I'll admit, guys, like I have a little bit of a shopping addiction, but I will always gravitate towards a brand that prioritizes personal shopping experiences and deliver 100%. That extra customer service experience. So I need to check some of these brands out that we're talking about today.
It's market research. We're doing market research.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And as my boss, you're allowing that, right? So.
Exactly, 1,000%.
All right. So guys, we're here. We're at the last question. I know that we're way over, but we're having too much fun. So why not keep going? So I do want to end this. And I think this is a really big important one because we've said so much today and there's so much juicy information that all of you provided. But I really want each of you to just give us one final key takeaway that you have for our listeners. Like what can they really take away from this conversation? Dillier, let's start with you.
Well, yeah, mine is, again, super simple, y'all. Besides what we kind of mentioned so many times, segmentation, personalization, so forth. Hopefully you've been taking notes, definitely study them. But one more thing I would like to add to your study notes.
Oh yeah, there's homework.
Yeah,
we'll have homework after this.
Let me know, y'all. But don't be lazy. A lot of people, when I mean don't be lazy, is like don't overlook things and don't just gravitate to the shiny object syndrome. What's cool, what's fun to do. Sometimes the boring stuff, like, okay, don't hate me, Mia, when I say this, but like data, if you think data is boring, I'm not saying data is boring, but if you think data is boring, like don't feel compelled, like you don't veer away from looking into the data, right? The data is going to be your best friend, and it's so important. It may not be as cool as creating a new a graphic or video. You have to do these mundane things. Don't be lazy. Don't be afraid to dig deep into those, and don't be afraid to also test a lot, y'all. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, all of our solutions here, we provide A/B testing and looking at different traffics and different segments and different variations and so forth. So definitely test meticulously, and you're going to be very surprised with what you'll learn. And again, keep in mind that every audience is different. Whoever's coming to your site, everybody's different, everybody's unique. Try to find the biggest buckets for them and try to create a bespoke experience. So, you convert them more. And yeah, I'll leave y'all with that.
Yeah.
Oh, data will tell you which way to go, y'all. Yeah.
I love that. And honestly, like, I think it doesn't matter if it's data. And I mean, I think it doesn't, whatever it is, like whatever that you're supposed to do that you're not doing, sometimes it's not just about the fact that it's not the fun thing to do. There might be a deeper reason that you don't know how to do it, or that it's too confusing. And sometimes that's the time to also maybe look into the experts that can help you, show you the way as to how to do that and how to do it efficiently, and to train you on it as well too, and educate you how to do it. That's why we have these incredible apps and these incredible tech stacks that you can build so that you are able to perform at your best, and you don't have to be the expert to do it. So like, Dillier said, don't be afraid, test things, don't be lazy, educate yourself. All this is so important. So thank you for that. Those are great takeaways. And Mike, yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm so sorry, that just came to mind. So curious, how is Triple Whale making data more fun, y'all?
Ooh, Mia. Well, I mean, Mia
over your curveball here. Just like, what comes to your mind? Like, what gets you guys excited, or what gets your clients or your marketers excited about diving into Triple Whale?
Well, I think honestly, what we're all excited about right now was when we recently unveiled Moby, part of Triple Whale 3.0. And for anyone, joining us today who's not familiar with that aspect of our product, it's like, I hate to compare it to this, but it's kind of like ChatGPT, but for your data, where you can actually write into Moby and say, build me a dashboard that breaks down my top 5 performing products, listed out by geolocation, right? And it'll build that dashboard for you. Like, it's insanely easy. So even for folks, or even for brands who are just getting started, maybe they don't have an entire like data scientist team, it's making it really easy for those brands to build those dashboards right out of the box. But also for those large enterprise brands who want more customization and who have that data scientist team to actually have, more customization for their data, and they want to build these complex dashboards, now they're able to do that. So that's honestly, like, I can geek out about it because it's really cool. The examples, the dashboards that we've been seeing brands build has just been so exciting. And the way that brands are playing around with their data and visualizing their data and creating all of these different boards. And we offer templates for all of our integrations. Like, it's just making data for your brand so freaking easy.
Accessible. I love that. That's actually really fun. The conversational approach.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah. Like, that's how I see it, right? Conversational approach to data. Like, that's really cool, guys. That's really cool.
It's especially also in that sometimes we don't know what we need. And so by actually kind of like ChatGPT, like you can kind of type it in, not only can it, spit out what you just asked for, but it can also provide other recommendations, being like, hey, you asked that. Would you also be interested in looking into this? Or maybe you should be looking to this instead. And so it's also being your data analyst, giving you some examples of other things that you should be looking into. So getting even that much deeper and granular with your data that maybe you didn't know how to do in the first place. And just another point that I also want to make, because I do think this is also really great. Triple Whale is also good about providing free solutions. So even, let's just say you just maybe don't have the budget to be adding to your tech stack. We also do offer free solutions that you can now be able to get into the data, be able to see all those important metrics in a beautiful dashboard, and you're not paying a cent. And so that way you can also grow your business without also having to worry about burning a hole in your pocket when you don't have that with the money at that time. So we do also have those amazing free tools for everyone also to use.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So thank you for that question. We appreciate that.
Curveball. I heard Mia's the expert. Just wanted to
And then Michael, our lovely Michael, what is your one thing you want your listeners to take away when it comes to customer experience and Gorgias?
Yeah, I think the number one thing is like meeting your customers where they are. So whatever channel they're reaching out to you, be there to listen, be there to respond. On top of that, making things easy for them to find the answers they're looking for. It sounds like so simple, but like sometimes it's completely overlooked. Like just an explanation, an FAQ, like anything like that. You want to anticipate what those questions are. Ask a customer. Understanding the customer is like at the core of like everything. So making sure you're there for them, able to find those answers quickly, and then having quick first response time, like that's the recipe for like a happy customer. And that's kind of like my main takeaways. If you're doing that, like you're going to see that payoff.
And like we said earlier, speak to their soul.
Well, ASMR.
I was like, is there someone in my headphones? I was like, where is
there someone in my head right now?
I was like looking at the chat. I had no idea what's going on. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to
I was like looking which direction is the scent coming from.
ASMR e-commerce, let's go.
Let's do it. Our next webinar episode is just ASMR. I love it.
Honestly though, Michael, like it's coming from the customer service expert. You're right 1,000,000 times over. Like I am such a customer service snob. everything I spend, I just want to feel like as much as I value the product, that they value where I'm spending. And I want to feel like I'm heard and I'm understood and I'm part of a community and all the above. And I just want to feel that like I can talk to somebody, regardless if it's AI or if it's the human touch. I just want to feel like they want to listen to me and they want to help me. So yeah, those are all really great points about the customer service aspect of it. And Gorgias, shameless plug, is one of the best out there when you are looking for an amazing customer service platform. So thank you for that. That's awesome. And then my lovely Mia, what is your one takeaway for the audience?
Everyone knows what I'm about to say. So just as Leah said, like, don't be afraid to test. Like, that's so important. And my one takeaway here is just making sure that you're reviewing your data, making sure that I take a shot every time I've said review your data back decisions, but you want to make sure that you're making data back decisions. And so that's my main takeaway. And like Erin had mentioned before, if you are a, smaller brand, or you're a brand, who really hasn't been prioritizing their data analytics, and you kind of just want to get maybe a better understanding or see if this is something that you do want to prioritize in the long term or in the long run, Daniela dropped the link for our Founders Dash. But that's a free dashboard. It's completely 100% free. And that's a really great stepping stone for your brand to have all of that centralized data in one place. And then obviously, if that works out for you, we have paid plans where you're able to segment your customers and you're able to see some more in-depth data. But again, like, you want to make sure you're making those data back decisions, and Triple Whale is a good place to start. But there's also some amazing other tools out there as well.
But Triple Whale. Oh, guys, this has been an incredible session.
I had so much fun. This was so fun.
So much fun. Like, panels are not supposed to be this fun. Like, this was just too much fun. This is too much fun. And guys, like, just thank you, everyone. And those insane and incredible insider tips that is going to help everyone here master customer engagement like a pro. But before we do wrap it up, I do want to take a serious second to extend a huge thank you to our wonderful panelists for sharing their invaluable insights with us. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And of course, an even bigger shout out to all of you who have joined us today. Your active participation is what makes these webinars so worthwhile and so engaging. So thank you. We really could not do it without your enthusiasm and, of course, also your support. But guess what? The excitement doesn't end here. We are going to have another webinar on the horizon that you absolutely want to miss. I have it up on the screen, and our lovely Daniela is going to put the link there in the chat. Join us on May 1st with some more fabulous partners as we discuss how to market with confidence and increase revenue in 2024.
Which we all want to do.
Who doesn't want to do that, right?
Who doesn't want to make more money?
I want to be more confident, and I want to be able to make more money. So yes. Let's go. Those are the affirmations of 2024.
Exactly.
So that is all for me today. Thank you, everyone, again. We will see you very, very soon. And thanks again to the panelists. We appreciate y'all.
Amazing. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, guys. Bye.